When I was little, my father was famous. He was the greatest samurai in the empire. He cut off the heads of 131 lords.
Hey everybody, Jerry Williams, aka Greater Sapien here. Thanks for stopping by. Today we look at, numbers 195 and 196 of Eric Dubay's 200 Proofs the Earth is Not a Spinning Ball. 195. Astronomers say the magical magnetism of gravity is what keeps all of the oceans of the world stuck to the ball Earth. They claim that because the Earth is so massive, by virtue of this mass, it creates a magic force able to hold people, oceans, and atmosphere tightly clung to the underside of a spinning ball. Unfortunately, however, they cannot provide any practical example of this on a scale smaller than the planetary. A spinning wet tennis ball, for instance, has the exact opposite effect of the supposed ball Earth. Any water poured over it simply falls off the sides, and giving it a spin results in water flying off 360 degrees like a dog shaking after a bath. Astronomers concede the wet tennis ball example displays the opposite effect of their supposed ball Earth, but claim that at some unknown mass, the magic adhesive properties of gravity suddenly kick in, allowing the spinning wet tennis ball Earth to keep every drop of gravitized water stuck to the surface. When such an unproven theory goes against all experiments, experience, and common sense, it's high time to drop the theory. No, that's not the claim. The claim is what the physics tells us is that the mass of a tennis ball is very small, and thus the gravity that it has is very low compared to that of the Earth, where these demonstrations always take place. So the gravity of the Earth pulls the water from the ball every time, especially if you pour water over it. Secondly, when someone spins the tennis ball, they inevitably spin it at a much higher rate than the spin of the Earth, which is 1 revolution per day. They usually zip it around like a top, and so they generate much higher centrifugal force than is generated by the spinning of the Earth. And water is going to fly off, especially since they poured water over it. Now, I've mentioned pouring water over it twice, and that's to call out another thing wrong with the tennis ball analogy. There is always far too much water placed on the tennis ball, far more in proportion to what is on the Earth. I know we picture the Earth as having a lot of water on it because it's all over the surface. But compared to the size of the Earth itself, there is very little water. How little? Well, if the Earth were the size of this golf ball, then the amount of water on it would be about 0.045 milliliters spread across the 70% of this surface. Now, I've got this syringe here, and it's got 0.2 milliliters of water in it, and that's well over 4 times the amount of water that would be on the Earth. So I'm going to put about half of this on here. So first I'm just going to do it a little bit at a time. Now I'm going to pour it over it. Spread it out as I go. Turn. Spread out. Spread out. I'll use my finger to spread it around a little bit. Just the one finger. A little bit more. So now I'm down at 0.1. So I've put 0.1 milliliters on there. Just still more than twice as much that would be on the Earth. Spread it around. There's still going to be a little bit on my finger, of course. Right there. Put it all around the Earth. Yeah, little tiny bit on my finger. A little bit, tiny bit on my finger. I'm going to dab that off. So, there's more water on this ball than there is on the Earth. It's not dripping off. When I spin it at thousands of times faster than the Earth spins, it's not flying away. That's because this magical force that is holding the water to the ball, the force of adhesion between the molecules of the ball and the thin film of water, is stronger at this scale than the force of gravity of the Earth is on the film. And it's stronger than the centrifugal force that happens when I spin it around. This is a much better analogy than the spinning tennis ball. It's not perfect, of course. The dents in this ball are deeper than any ocean, but the forces are much more in proportion. Hey, what's up, everybody? Later Jerry, editing and post here. I just happened to notice an inconsistency in the standards between this claim of Dubay and the one that was done yesterday, which I believe was 194. In that one, that was put forth that a spinning pail of water was not a good analogy because to be of value, the contents in your demonstration, they need to be the same. But for some reason, I don't know why, the standards with the spinning wet tennis ball are not the same. The spinning wet tennis ball has far more water and is spinning at a much higher rate with much less force acting upon it proportionally than the circumstances of the Earth and the oceans. Is there a double standard there? No. Oh, and by the way, well, one, you can see this is still wet. Just, the water on this ball, it's curved. 96. Boy, Jerry in post again. What are you, crazy, Jerry? 96? No. This is 196. Hell no. What are you trying to do? Put us back? No, we are not going back. This is 196. Let's go. Fuck that. Quoting Marshall Hall. In short, the sun, moon, and stars are actually doing precisely what everyone throughout all history has seen them do. We do not believe what our eyes tell us because we have been taught a counterfeit system which demands that we believe what has never been confirmed by observation or experiment. That counterfeit system demands that the Earth rotate on an axis every 24 hours at a speed of over 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. No one has ever seen or felt such movement, nor seen or felt the 67,000 miles per hour speed of the Earth's alleged orbit around the sun, or its 500,000 miles per hour alleged speed around the galaxy, or its retreat from an alleged Big Bang at over 670 million miles per hour. Remember, no experiment has ever shown the Earth to be moving. Add to that the fact that the alleged rotational speed we've all been taught as a scientific fact must decrease every inch or mile one goes north or south of the equator, and it becomes readily apparent that such things as accurate aerial bombing and World War II down a chimney from 25,000 feet with a plane going in any direction at high speed would have been impossible if calculated on an Earth moving below at several hundred miles per hour and changing constantly with the latitude. So this is just a repeat of parts of several claims made over this entire series. It presents zero evidence, but echoes the same trust your eyes claim of 121. We do not believe what our eyes tell us because we know from experience that our eyes don't tell the whole story. I mean, you're not Father Dougal, are you?
Okay, one last time. These are small, but the ones out there are far away. Small, far away. Ah, forget it.
Come to think of it, Dubé and Dougal do sound a lot alike. You say the sun, moon, and stars are actually doing what everyone has seen them do. But that doesn't actually say anything. What you mean is that these objects are doing what people have assumed they were doing, because none of them had the ability to follow the sun, moon, and stars 24/7 and plot out their exact paths precisely, did they? No, they made assumptions about what they saw, and from those assumptions they made models. Models that were relatively accurate. But over time, as more observations were made, the less accurate those models became. And so new models were made that were more accurate. This happened over and over again until we got to the model we have today. The sun, moon, and stars are doing exactly what we see them do. Lucky for us, we can use more than just our eyes.
That's my job! That's what I do! I don't lose! I win! Is there no one on this planet to even challenge me?
Maybe you came by to congratulate me on last night's victory.